Now to that stunning reversal, more than half a century in the making, two of the three men convicted of killing Malcolm X expected to be exonerated. Lindsay Davis spoke with the men's attorneys. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you all. TJ, you called it a story of historic proportions. Yeah. You are exactly right. While there is a mood of vindication for both men, one of their attorneys put it like this. He said, "Today is not bittersweet because there is nothing sweet about it." He says if the FBI and NYPD had just come forward with the evidence that they had at the time, the arrest would have never happened.
This morning, nearly 57 years after the assassination of civil rights activist Malcolm X, two of the men convicted in his killing are set to be exonerated. The stunning development comes after a nearly 2-year-long investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney concluded that the FBI and NYPD withheld evidence that might have proved their innocence decades ago.
Is this another case of the chickens coming home to roost?
Certainly it is, in the sense that the FBI is reaping what it has sown for many decades. The FBI lied, the NYPD lied, and the DA's office admitted that it also made false statements.
In the case of Malcolm X's murder, three men, Muhammad Aziz, Khalil Islam, and Mujahid Abdul Halim, previously known as Thomas Hagen, were all convicted and sentenced to life in prison in 1966. While Hagen confessed to shooting Malcolm X, he said that Islam and Aziz had nothing to do with it. Both men always maintained their innocence. Islam was granted parole in 1987, but died in 2009. And Aziz spent 20 years in prison before being paroled in 1985. The 83-year-old releasing a statement saying, in part, "I hope the same system that was responsible for this travesty of justice also takes responsibility for the immeasurable harm it caused me."
What took so long?
Historians and journalists have known for decades that these men were innocent. It was an exoneration in plain sight.
Malcolm X, an icon and one of the most compelling and influential figures of the civil rights era, was known for his bold, impassioned speeches.
If the government is unwilling or unable to protect the Negro should be expected to protect himself.
The then 39-year-old was gunned down at the Audubon Ballroom in Manhattan on February 21, 1965. Just as he began speaking, three gunmen opened fire. The decision to reopen the investigation followed the release of the Netflix docuseries Who Killed Malcolm X?
Asking who's guilty of Malcolm's assassination is a dangerous question to ask.
The series pointing the finger at 5 Nation of Islam members who were at odds with Malcolm X.
4 of those men are now believed to be dead. As for Mr. Aziz, he is now 83 years old. He's expected to be in court today. And while he says he did not need a piece of paper to tell him that he's innocent, he says that he is glad that his family and friends are finally seeing the truth officially recognized. Unfortunately for Mr. Islam, he did not get a chance to live to see this day.
We're talking about one of the most influential and historic black figures in this country. Still, the people ultimately responsible were not held accountable for his death. Yeah. Is where we are.
And the lawyers would like to see an investigation open to the FBI and NYPD as far as what they knew.
And these docuseries, they shed such a light on so many cases.
If you want to get out of jail.
Have a docuseries.
Keep that in mind, Lindsay. All right. Thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.